What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today, continuing our Madden 20 Realistic Rebuild series, we kind of had a three-way tie. I asked you guys at the end of the Saints rebuild what team you want to see next. Got a lot of Bucks, got a lot of Cowboys, got a lot of Colts. So I was like, all right, well, that might be our next slate of three rebuilds. I personally felt like today doing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and if you've been paying attention to my rebuilds, you'll understand why. First up, well, because we're using the mods, we're going to be using the starting point of after the 2020 draft. We got this man on the squad, Rob Gronkowski, out of retirement. And of course, the Madden mod community just like, oh, let's just beep, bop, boop, type in 6 buttons, and make him back in the game. It's not that hard, Madden. Come on, put this in your official rosters. But we got Gronkowski here at tight end. Tom Brady is now the quarterback. Tom Brady's 43. I am fully prepared for Tom Brady to retire after 1 year. And there's been a certain type of rebuild that I have been wanting to do for a certain player, which you will see in a second, because I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to get that player, but you will see it. And I think it's definitely a move. If I'm Tampa Bay in real life, understanding Blaine Gabbert and Ryan Griffin are my backups behind Tom Brady, it's a trade I would make. Now, outside of that, let's just look at our own roster. We got Ronald Jones II, 77 normal at running back. You know, you can't really give up on him. And he's a hell of a physical specimen. 220 pounds, 93 speed. This guy's like Darren McFadden. For all the Madden OGs, Darren McFadden used to be like the most overpowered, underrated running back in Madden. He'd always come in like high 70s, 215, 220 with like 93, 94 speed. It was awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, the running back spot, you know, if we don't get a depth trade for Ronald Jones, we're probably going to need to still find a running back. They got Keyshawn Vaughn, Raymond Callis from the draft, but, yeah, it's either going to be Ronald Jones hits a dev, and we can actually use him. Like, even just a star dev would be looking good. By the time he's 24, 25, be the low 80s, it's serviceable. Or we're going to have to draft a running back. At wide receiver, probably, I don't even need to say that, the best 1-2 punch at wide receiver in the National Football League, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Outside of that, we got Scotty Miller's OP Cheese, 94 speed. They got Justin Watson, height, weight, speed. They got Tyler Johnson, which was an excellent value pickup in the draft out of Minnesota. So it's elite wide receiver core. You throw in Gronkowski. You got O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. You know what? Cameron Brate might actually be our trade piece here. One of our trade pieces. I know the team that I'm thinking about maybe moving him to probably doesn't need a tight end. But, I mean, yeah. Also, the best stable of tight ends in the National Football League. I mean, we also debatably could try to trade O.J. Howard. I actually have no idea where his contract's at. I assume probably in this first offseason we'll get hit with that. Do you want to pick up his 5th-year option? Maybe we try to move O.J. Howard because the value is still there. But Gronk's 30. That 5-year age difference, I don't know. I feel like we could have 2 really good tight ends. We can fork out the contracts here. Offense line is not particularly great. Donovan Smith, maybe the worst left tackle, starting left tackle in the National Football League. Marpet's solid at guard. Jensen's really solid at center. They got Tristan Wirfs with the first pick that they made in the 2020 draft. They traded up a spot to get him. That was outstanding value. Great pick. How about Tom Brady? On the defense, I think they're the most underrated defense in the National Football League entering the 2020 season. You got Ndamukong Suh. You got Golston, who's, you know, kind of overpaid. I want to kind of get my way out of that contract. But Vita Vea, 85 superstar. I think he's the best nose tackle in the National Football League. Absolute beast. 2-way player. Chipped in, get a couple of offensive tutties. Oh, and we also, by the way, have the Bucks' new uniforms. Thanks to the mods. Thank you very much, everybody. That does all the hard work for that. Start today mod. We have JPP at outside linebacker. We got Levante David in the future of this defense. The future face of this defense, Devin White, superstar. 22-77. Right outside linebacker, we have Shaq Barrett, who had a breakout year. He's an 85 superstar. He led the league in sacks in real life in 2019. And then the secondary, you got young guys that you could definitely develop. Carlton Davis, 23-76 normal. Okay, the dev trade's not that great. Murphy Bunting, 23-75 star. We got 25-75 star. I can work with that. I can definitely work. And even MJ Stewart has some ability that we can possibly tap into. Maybe move him to safety. But then again, we got Whitehead, 72. Young, you know, in his prime, just entering his prime. Mike Edwards, still young, can work with it. I think Justin Evans has the dev trade. Oh, he regressed. He had a dev trade at the beginning of Madden 20. Either way, free safety, we got a chance that we can get one of these two guys between Jordan Whitehead and Mike Edwards to develop as our free safety. Or, hell, we could even throw in someone like MJ Stewart, who he was straight up a DB at North Carolina. I think he could play safety Or, I mean, it doesn't really help him out, and he's still just depth. Might as well move him back to corner where he will be. Whoa! Don't release him. Move him back to corner, add some depth to that. And then a strong safety, Antoine Winfield Jr., one of my favorite players from the 2020 draft, A-plus athlete. Obviously, the lineage, the last name should be familiar to you, and he's going to be a baller. And I think he's going to be the face of our secondary going forward. He's 71 with a hidden dev trait. 2 solid special teamers, both of them with an ideal age. It's a very interesting roster. But before we get to the rebuild, there is one move. I want to future-proof the quarterback spot. I want to make one move before we get into the first year of this Madden 20 realistic rebuild of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was able to make it straight up. We flipped Cameron Brate to the Miami Dolphins. He's going to form a 1-2 punch with Mike Gesicki to get Josh Rosen. I've been saying I want to do a Rosen revival. I don't know if it's going to come to full fruition here, but I assume in case Tom Brady does retire after year 1, I think Josh Rosen should be the heir. And that's what we're going to try to do here today. Okay, so coming out of our bye, we're 6-6, which is definitely disappointing if you're a Bucs fan, knowing how kind of all in this year is. However, we do the conference, everyone is 6-6, so we are very much still in the playoff race. Contract. So first up, we got Mr. Gronkowski. Pretty much pay whenever he wants to stay on this team. Lavonte David, another guy, pretty much. I mean, we have a really good salary cap situation here that we're going to be starting off. We want Chris Godwin. Hell, I'll even give him a 6-year deal if he'll take it that, which he will. We got Shaq Barrett, breakout, deserves all the money in the world. Jesus, he wants to hold us over a little bit. I'm thinking that that's probably as far as we're going to want to go. We'll come back for Shaq Barrett. We'll come back for Lavonte David, but just get the big dogs and the rest of the depth. You know, we'll make a decision when it comes closer to the offseason. Unreal. We lost that Week 17 game against Atlanta. Playoffs were on the line. Everyone finished 8-8. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. I've never seen anything like this. I know Brady went off. I know Brady dominated. Look at that. 4,400 yards, 40 touchdowns. Probably got the MVP. 10 picks. The run game was pretty much non-existent. I'm like 42 total touchdowns for 42. You got one for every year he is. We got 73 catches, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, Mike Evans. 87 catches, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, Chris Godwin. I actually had O.J. Howard in the slot, and he got almost 750 and 8, 630 and 8 for Gronk. I mean, unstoppable. How did we not make the playoffs? Lavonte David led the team, 131 tackles, 12 TFLs, 4 sacks, 2 picks. Murphy Buntingham over 100, 10 sacks, Vita Vea, 6.5, Shaq Barrett. Obviously, the sacks are disappointing. Interceptions could be better. 10th offense. What are we? Got to be like in the 20s for defense, then, right? Yeah. Yearly awards MVP went to Ryan Tannehill. What? Brady? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of bullshit. Tom Brady second and first. Should be at least top 3. The fact that he's 5th, I don't know. Is it like, Tom Brady bias? It's always Tom Brady, so you just kind of hold it against it. I don't know. Offensive Player of the Year went to Matt Ryan. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. Hey, Lavonte David, runner-up. Rookie of the Year went to Gibson, Terrell Lewis. Tom Brady is your best quarterback. I mean, why am I even really complaining? He's super old. He's not going to go up dev trait, down dev trait. I guess the big news as we go from year 1 to year 2 is Tom Brady going to retire, and are we going to have to handle the keys off to Josh Rosen, or is Rosen going to have another year of development under Tom Brady? I think Tom Brady's going to want to come back and avenge this. So as we start the offseason, it has happened. Tom Brady has decided to retire. So the keys have been handed over to the chosen Josh Rosen. Okay, so looking at the available free agents, I was tempted to throw a bid on a running back here, but I do feel like now might be the time to draft a running back finally. So I'm going to go veterans on the D-line. I'm going to get Calais Campbell. He's tried to on a 1 year, as well as re-upping on Sue on a 1 year, because we now have that surprise available money with Tom Brady retiring. But Trey Turner at right guard, he's 28, a 3-year deal, keeping him he's 31. I think that's a good piece of business to solidify this offensive line if we can land him as well. Look at our draft class where we use real prospects for the 2021 draft. Here is kind of how it played out. We really did miss the swing of running backs because we had Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard, CJ Verdell from Oregon. All these guys I thought would be around in the second round. We still got a solid running back with the first round. we had to, sure up that offensive line. Give Josh Rosen a talented offensive line. So we got Jackson Carman, the tackle from Clemson. I think he might be the first tackle off the board in 2021, or at least in that conversation. Outstanding tackle for Clemson. Hidden dev, almost a scheme fit. The second round, we got Kenneth Gainwell, who is unreal at Memphis. Didn't have a dev trait, though, which kind of stings, but he is a scheme fit. Younger at only 20, redshirt sophomore, but he is absolutely absurd. Very, very much a modern running back. Size, a little bit on the smaller side, but for a guy that can, get 40, 50, 60 catches, as well as be an effective runner, I think Gainwell is going to be a guy. If you don't know, you watch college football, you're going to hear about his name very, very soon. We got Big Cat Bryant as an outside linebacker scheme fit. Reed Blankenship, 66, hidden dev safety at a Middle Tennessee State, because we might need a long-term play at free safety. Togai from Ohio State, 66. We got Nico Collins from Michigan, 67. And they took a flyer on a backup quarterback, Shane Buechele, formerly of Texas, now of SMU, coming in with a rather low 56 overall. So for your number 2, maybe a little bit quicker than expected for Josh Rosen to become our quarterback. I'm glad we made that move, because I would have been pretty annoyed if we had to be forced into drafting a quarterback in that first draft. I'm actually going to go Gainwell as our starting running back, just because normal devs tend to get dev trade upgrades sooner than others, especially at running back and safety. Those are the two big ones, as well as tight end. So I feel like if we can get Gainwell at only 20 to a dev trade, he'll be better for us long-term than Ronald Jones, who still is serviceable by all means. No real regression here. Godwin is now an X Factor. I think he only started as a superstar. He did go up to a superstar X Factor, which maybe, debatably, he should have been anyways. Offensive line, yeah, we brought in Trey Turner in free agency. We have our first round pick, number 1 pick for us, Jackson Carman at left tackle. Big time upgrade over Donovan Smith. So yes, very much going to be a new look Bucs in back-to-back years. Obviously last year we got Brady and Gronk, and now this year it's Josh Rosen and some changes at some big time positions. Defensively, we're going with the veterans at D ends with Ndamukong and Calais Campbell. In the middle is Vita Vea. Secondary will be about the same. I think we'll just shuffle around the dev traits just a little bit. Put the 2 stars there as a starter. Move Carlton Davis in the slot. Linebacking core looks good. I think Levante David got a dev trait increase at this point really, really late in his career. Yes, he did, for making a second Pro Bowl up to a superstar dev, even though he is starting to face some regression. Winfield Jr. came out as a star dev, but he's 77. He's only going to get better. I would not be shocked to see him be a superstar dev before all is said and done. So let's go, man. This is now turned into, hey, let's play Tampa with Gronk and Brady for a couple years, and then see if Rosen's ready to turn the leaf and take this team over to, holy shit, we're in year 2, and now it's Josh Rosen time. Please don't be awful. Come on. Only 2 weeks in, and as expected, put in the normal dev, a 20-year-old running back has paid immediate dividends as Gainwell has got 10,000 XP in a star dev trade. Year 2, a fairly early buy. We're 2-2. Tough to get a true idea, true picture of where we're going to be at this year. But hey, we're only a game back from being first place in the division. So that's good, even though Mike Evans seems kind of pissed off. Contracts, what do we got? Okay, well, first up, that's actually like a lot of money for Carlton Day, but I think that's going to be worth the money if we can pay him, because we don't have a whole lot of money to spend willy-nilly, but I do think, looking at this, well, obviously, we're going to re-sign Josh Rosen. That looks like it's going to be an affordable deal as long as he continues to develop. I want Carlton Davis. What's that? What's this cap hit? Maybe if O.J. Howard takes this, okay, he wants more money, he can kiss my ass. He can straight up kiss my ass. And at the end of year 2, the first year of the Rosen era, and we are not making the playoffs. 6-9-1, a fairly close NFC South. I know Rosen is going to have pretty good stats when all is said and done, because I think he got Player of the Week at least 3 times that I saw, getting 4 touchdowns. So that's, 12 touchdowns in 3 games. So I'm going to say he's probably in the 30s, but we'll see that just in a sec. Look at the team. Gainwell got his dev trait, so he's now a star up to an 82. Jackson Carman, our first round pick, came out superstar dev, which is, you pair that with Tristan Wirfs, we should have, for the entirety of this rebuild, our 2 starting franchise tackles. Defensively, I don't think we had any hidden devs. No, we oh, yes, we did. We had Reed Blankenship. Came out as a star dev. Nothing too much there. And offensively, there we go. Second, top 5 quarterback. He's going up dev trade. He's going to be a superstar dev. So that worked out very well. The Bucs offense is fairly good in this sim. Obviously, when you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Rob Gronkowski, it's going to help out. 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 picks, 64% completion percentage. I will take that for sure. Almost 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns for the rookie Gainwell. Should have Offensive Rookie of the Year all locked up. 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, Mike Evans. 9 and 11 for Chris Godwin. 8 and 5 for Gronk. 5 and 6, Scotty Miller. Defensively, we got 123 tackles, Lavonte David. 11 and a half sacks for Calais Campbell. 17 TFLs. I did re-sign him to a 1-year, $19 million contract because I just feel like he's going to be an ageless wonder and put up those kind of numbers every year. 3 picks, Carlton Davis leading the team. Quick look at the yearly awards. MVP went to Carson Wentz with Josh Rosen coming in at number 6. I like seeing that. Offensive Player of the Year, Carson Wentz, Rosen at 4. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Kenneth Gainwell. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Dylan Moses of the Eagles. And then for the individual awards, unfortunately we had nobody, as we are now entering year 3. At least it looks like we should have a dev trait. We should be rocking with a superstar dev, Josh Rosen. The bad news is we're entering year 3 with no divisional title victories. It's not looking great. Free agency, there's literally nothing available outside of picking up Devin White's 5th-year option. And awful. Well, would you believe me that Ndamukong Suh was like a top 10 player in this free agency class? He was a 77, he's 35. So we'll just keep our money and get into the draft. So take a look at our draft recap. We did great from a value standpoint. We pretty much need to retool, get younger across the D-line, and we got a number 7 player in true talent, Vaughn Bartholomew from Miami, 76, almost a scheme for right at the bat. Gonna have to most likely transition to a defensive end, but no dev trade. We got a 71 normal, we got a 71 normal, we got a 70 normal. So the dev trade's gotta suck. Until the 7th round, we got Kyle Spencer, 71 hidden dev. So we could probably slide him in to, one of the guard spots. There was a player that we did pass on. I want to check it out I haven't even cheesed and see what he was. He was a center. We got the 76. We got Bartholomew, a 76 normal dev D tackle. And I passed on this guy, Will Leroy. Of course he has a hidden dev. Of course, 70, oh well, they're both solid players. Maybe in hindsight, because he has a dev trade, I would have went the center, but I'm happy with my draft, generally speaking. So as we gear up for year number 3, we're looking good. 85 overall on the offense. The rating's still realistic of where he probably would be, even if he hit the ground running, but I love the fact that we got him a dev trait, especially because we got him on that fairly reasonable deal. We signed him when he was like a 75 star dev. I think we had 5 years. It was like just under 50 million. And now we have a superstar dev quarterback. So very similar to the last Saints rebuild where we got Jamie Newman on a very reasonable deal before he kind of took off and became a really big time player for us. We got Gainwell as emerging as a very legitimate running back. Only regression on the offense was of Gronk, and he's still an 83 X factor, which is really, really good. What we did on the O-line was move Trey Turner into center so we can have Spencer flex out to guard so we can maximize that hidden dev trait. Defensively, Bartholomew, who we drafted as a D tackle, our number 1 pick, we're going to slide him out to defensive end to complete the D-line. He'll be taking over for Ndamukong Suh. No new dev traits across here. I suppose you probably could go Big Cat Bryant. Great name as one of our outside linebackers there. Maybe move Blankenship to our free safety spot. Yeah, I mean, our secondary, I guess, would be the weak link of this team right now. And even that, they got dev traits. They should continue to grow and develop. Here in year 3, where I firmly expect us to contend for a wild card spot. Another week 2 dev trait, Carlton Davis on the defensive side, going from a normal to a star dev plus 20,000 XP. Congratulations. From our bye in year 3, we are, a little bit of a fall from grace, 1 and 3, but we're 2nd somehow in the division. So even if we just get hot for a small period, we could catch up to the Carolina Panthers there. Contracts, we're going to wait and see on Calais Campbell. He's getting up there in age a lot. But we will re-sign Vita Vea, 4-year deal. Nice. He takes that. Murphy Bunting, another real nice piece of our secondary. See if we can get him to at least 29, which we did. I do like also Scotty Miller. I like the skill set he brings from the slot. So we'll see if we can get him to at least 30. Nice. Yeah, I'd say that's about it. Everyone else, get off my team. You're dead weight. Especially you, Chance Warmack. And in the end of year 3, I feel like this was the bipolar year. And then a year ago, I saw Josh Rosen get 4 Offensive Player of the Week. I don't think I had one single guy on my team get an Offensive Player of the Week. We finished 7-9, 3 games back out of winning the NFC South, which is not ideal. We had a couple hidden devs on the offense. Spencer came out as a star, and we pretty much spent all of his points making him from a tackle to a guard, making him an agile scheme fit. But we got Rosen up to an 80 overall. Defensively, Blankenship started. He's up to a 74. We had the dev trade upgrade for Carlton Davis, which was definitely nice. Other than that, though, like, wasn't a great year from development. Definitely wasn't a good year statistically. Rosen, top 15 quarterback, somewhere in that range, 3,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 12 picks. Not a brutal year, but definitely not a good year. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns for Gainwell. I'm happy with that. No dominant receiver. 7 touchdowns for Gronk, 7 touchdowns Scotty Miller. Annoying. A little bit annoying there. Defensively, Devin White led the team, 117 tackles. We got 9 sacks, Calais Campbell, 9 from Shaq Barrett, 25 TFLs from Vita Vea. What a monster. 3 picks, Carlton Davis. Quick look, yearly awards, MVP went to Justin Fields, who's now slinging that rock for the New England Patriots. In the NFC Offensive Player of the Year, I don't think we're going to anyone win any of these awards. Ooh, okay. The guy that's most likely on his way out. Calais Campbell at 1 and Vita Vea at 2. For best defensive lineman in the NFC. It's another free agent period, another just awful one, man. Like, I don't know, man. Could grab I don't know. I'm not really happy with any of those tight ends. But it's another year where, like, literally the best guy is the guy we have walking. Yeah, we'll save our money and just keep on keeping our own talent in-house when we can. Show you this prospect as we get ready to make our pick. There's some nice players here. We got Malik Cheeks, awesome name, pretty good top skills. But there's one guy that we just have to make it. Look, another safety that looks really, really good. But there's a D tackle here. Isaac Edwards from San Diego State, 7.5 combine, A's across the board. My God, this guy's like as good as Ndamukong Suh was coming out of Nebraska, and how fitting that we're still trying to find Ndamukong Suh's true replacement, because Bartholomew, obviously 75 normal. Please be a freak. Yes! Isaac Edwards, 79. Number 2 true talent. It's like one of the straight up, if this guy's anything better than a star dev, I think he goes top 10 draft prospect we've ever got. Guy's an abs 94 strength, power moves there, the athleticism is there, 82 speed, 83 acceleration. My God, Isaac Edwards, out of the defensive juggernaut known as San Diego State. What a monster. We got one of the gods I've ever drafted. Pretty much just went BPA for the main draft. Didn't get anyone below a 60, which was pretty solid, but didn't get anything from dev traits. Ironman Gold had a 7.5 combine grade. Good compliment to what we have in Kenneth Gainwell, so I'm not too upset about that, even though using positional value. We already have a franchise running back, drafting one in the second round. It's not the best, but it's kind of what you got to do when the draft is fairly weak. But Isaac Edwards, I cannot wait to see what this guy can do. We are year 4. Exciting times for the Bucks. Trying to just put last year behind us. We got some studs. Okay? Really, the only regression we're still facing is Gronk. Other than that, everyone maintained their rating on the offense, and everyone's back starting yet again. Defensively, everything remains the exact same, and then we got this monster, Isaac Edwards. Yes, sir. Able to spend all his preseason points to get him all tied, technically, for a scheme fit. God, just please be something better than a star. Please! But by year 4, we're 5-3, happy with where we're at, tied for first place in the NFC South. And this has been much more defense than offense. We've had 2 or 3 defensive player of the weeks. I do have some good news to share because I probably should have showed it last week. 4 sacks. Mr. Edwards is superstar dev. He had 4 sacks a week. Where's he at right now? He's at 6 on the season. Now, I'm not super pumped that he has, 85 or whatever the hell the math works out, percentage of his sacks in one game, but he's been an absolute monster on the defense so far. Contracts, first up, we got Mike Evans, one of my favorite, probably like my favorite wide receiver in the National Football League. I've been pretty vocal about that. I want him. We got Ali Marpet, 3-year deal, should hold on to that rating fairly well. We have Devin White. Might as well even give him, see if we can take a 6-year deal. He wants a little bit more money. Tristan Wirfs, we'll give him 6-year deal, keep him till he's 30. Beautiful. We get Antoine Winfield, who's up to a super seed. We must have missed that dev trade upgrade. Definitely will keep him. Outside of that, I think Jamel Dean's worth maybe a 2-year, perhaps. Keep him till he's 30 if he will. He wants more money. Oh, he can for sure kiss my ass. Both sides. Twice on Tuesday. Okay? So yeah, we'll let Jamel Dean walk. But we'll definitely come back to the table with Antoine Winfield, who somehow surprisingly got that superstar dev. How did I miss that? Devin White for sure as well. And at the end of year 4, we got our ticket. We got to start in the gauntlet, but we have our ticket to potentially go on and win the Super Bowl. Our first NFC South title, 10-6, winning the division. And I think most of it came from the defense, man. I did not see a lot of positive plays from offense. Just from the outside looking in, dev traits and stuff like that, we had only one, the D tackle. That we moved to a defensive end who's now an 86 superstar, which is a thing of beauty. An absolute thing of beauty. Seeing where we finished statistically, Josh Rosen, I mean, that's not amazing. I mean, oof. I mean, that's not bad. I feel like if you put that kind of number, 35 and 27, you're like, okay, what else? 2 picks? Great. Did not put our defense in short field position. Turnovers were minimal. So I'm generally happy with that kind of season from Josh Rosen. A little bit of an off year from the running backs. No one had 10 touchdowns. Scotty Miller. Of course, Evans and Godwin don't play like they do in real life. That's just Madden. 3 guys over 100 tackles. We got 11 sacks Vita Vea, 8.5 Bartholomew, 8 from Edwards. I like seeing that. Interceptions were down. We were the 28th offense. Yeah, makes sense. What were we defensively? Top 10. We are not really that good, though. Across the board. Deshaun Watson was your MVP. The NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Saquon Barkley. Defensive Player of the Year went to Danielle Hunter. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We had the runner-up and Offensive Rookie of the Year. Was our backup running back. Isaac Edwards is your Defensive Rookie of the Year. Come on, give him an X factor. For the rest of the individual awards, we had nothing. Just, wow. I've never seen a team that bad. 28th offensively and not even like elite defensively. We're a top 10, but 8th. Make the playoffs at 10-6. So that's cool. Let's get into this game here at home hosting Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Literally 0 expectations. I'm going to see my 28th overall offense. They're probably going to put up 40 points, something stupid like that. Or, of course, they won't. Defense, good stand. I mean, no touchdowns yet for Dallas. I'll take that. And we got 2 tutties. Beautiful. Number 28 offense playing well. And the number 8 defense playing like the number 1 defense in the National Football League. No touchdowns. Suffocating at this point. However, our offense has been unable to capitalize and build up any form of lead. So our defense is going to get tired. It's only a matter of time because Dallas' offense is fairly overpowered. Oh my God. We got like 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. Haven't got any points since. Brutal. Absolutely brutal loss. For the final free agency period of this episode, we're going to spend a little bit of money. We're going to stop being tight asses, tight wads, whatever you want to call it, with our cash. We're going to look here at Tyler Bidash. Of course, there's other competitive bids on him, but I'd love for him to come in and be our center. And then CJ Henderson, for whatever reason, the Jags did not want to retain a 25-year-old superstar dev corner. So we're actually coming in with a very, very big bid. We have some XP to spend. Maybe we can get the cornerback free agency influence. We got the DB, and we already have O-line, so that would be very nice if we could land both Henderson and Bidash. Even if we only land one, though, I'll be okay with it. And we... fuck. A lot of draft picks because we were kicking the can down the road on a bunch of picks from previous drafts. We just cashed it in. And, of course, it's just an incredibly weak draft. I simmed it out after we made this pick. We got a 66 normal, 67 normal, 69. We got a 71. This is our best dev trait, Clay Cohen, who actually might have a chance to play sooner than later, trying to find Levante David's replacement. He saw it looking. And we got, when this guy was number 5 in the draft, I knew it was going to be kind of a garbage draft. We got Alex Bramble, scheme fit. He was like a 7.3 combine grade, but 76 normal. It's less than ideal for sure. To kick off year 5, very bad offseason. Didn't get any of our free agents. Didn't get anything in terms of like a beast in the draft. So our team here, this is kind of how it's shaping up. Offensive line is noticeably weaker. Maybe we could take Rhodes. Just because he has a dev trait, why not? And our center's already really, really weak. just put him there and see if he can catch on and develop, maybe. But that interior of the offensive line is not what it's used to be after, wait, what? I knew we had what is going on? Why is Marpet just straight up? Yeah, I'm not playing. There we go. All right. So, obviously, Gronk has regressed a lot. We have Thaddeus Moss, somehow his depth. Yeah, offense is now weaker at any point. I'd say this is the worst offense we've had so far in this rebuild, which is, I mean, we've had really good offense. It's more of a credit to what we used to have. Defense is strong. Obviously, we're trusting Cohen to be able to fill in the massive shoes that we lost in Levante David, one of the best linebackers in the history. I think you probably put Levante David up there with a Derek Brooks, I think, when all is said and done here, when you're talking about Bucs linebackers. So it's a solid defense. It's still a good offense, but I have no idea what expectations we should set on this team for year 5. On year 5, we are garbage. 2-5. The bipolarness continues with this team. Contracts. Gainwell for sure. I'd like to keep him. Shaq Barrett. Ooh, see Shaq Barrett. Now this is where we start getting just bad contracts. Contracts I want nothing to do with. Reed Blankenship. Contracts I'm all about. Starting hidden dev. Well, he was hidden, but starting star dev. He's only 25 and he wants $1 million. It's a ridiculous contract. Simply ridiculous contract. Big Cat Bryant is a starter for us. Can we do better? Most likely. But that's reasonable depth in case we can't. Just because free agency has not been very forgiving to our team. I would be shocked if Shaq Barrett's not like a top 5 available free agent this coming offseason. Nico Collins is a scheme fit. He's only 24. So maybe just 5 years, having solid depth, especially, in case we get a surprise retirement out of, say, Mike Evans. We might be able to just throw Nico Collins to the Wolves. So yeah, I'm happy with our business dealings here. Not happy with our record. 2 wins? What's going on here? What an absolute crapshoot of a final year. I think we won 4 of our last 5. We finished 7-9, which was somewhat respectable. Second in the division, runners up at there's no catching the Panthers. 13-3. They caught fire. Did not give up. We were way too inconsistent, and now unfortunately have to have everything to play for in the second part of this realistic rebuild. Where we're 86. We got our team mostly where we want to be. Mike Evans is starting to regress. Don't know how much longer we're gonna have Gronk, but everything else is generally in place, right? Marpet, I guess, would be the older guy on the O-line, but generally, we're gonna be pretty good offensively. Defensively, Vita Vea's getting up there in age a little bit. Shaq Barrett's going to be gone. But, again, everyone else on the defense is on the right side of 30 for the most points. So, I do think we're going to have a strong roster for the second part of the rebuild. Let's kind of see where things went wrong here this season. Josh Rosen, oh my God. Not good. Easily his worst year. I do not like the fact that this all worked out fairly well, making this like a little bit of it's the Bucs realistic rebuild. It's also a little bit of a career revival for Josh Rosen, getting to where he is, and then for him to play like that. You were not rewarding me for putting faith in you, Josh Rosen. I guess combined, the running backs were fine. Still no dominant receiver, which is disappointing given that we have 3 guys that are freaks. Defensively, Devin White, really, really good year. Might have a chance to go up to an X factor off that alone. 122 tackles, 6 TFLs, 4 picks. We got 10.5 sacks Bartholomew. Those are acceptable numbers for a 3-4. Picks, Davis and White, both with 4 each. We had the worst offense in the National Football League. A year or 2 removed from one of the best. I don't know. Maybe we got to get creative. Maybe we got to change the playbooks up. I don't know. Josh Allen is the MVP. And in the NFC, I don't think we're going to have really anything. Ooh! There might be a dev trade. We might have an X factor when we come back to kick off year 6 in a couple days. Devin White, Defensive Player of the Year. The rest of the individual awards. DB of the Year, Carlton Davis. Could be another dev trade. He's sitting on a star. That'd be nice to get him up to a superstar dev. But no other way to really cut it. That is, for a team that's this good, through 5 years, through the Brady, now with Rosen, we only have 1 divisional title to show for it. That is definitely less than ideal, because, there's a good chance Gronk retires this offseason. He's 35. Mike Evans, what's he, 32? It's not good. Godwin's getting close to getting to that regression stage as well, and we don't know how many more years of positive growth we're going to get out of Josh Rosen. He's sitting here as a 28. So, yeah, everything to play for. still a really good team. And we can focus on continuing and completing this for Josh Rosen, having to go complete circle from being drafted as a top, debatably the best quarterback prospect coming out when he's coming to UCLA, to getting bounced around the league, to eventually going to Tampa, replacing Tom Brady, and winning a Super Bowl. That is what we're going to try to accomplish in part 2. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. As always, first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoy. The likes help my videos out a whole lot. And we'll be back probably, I have no idea what today is. Today is Thursday? It is Thursday, so we'll probably be back Saturday with part 2 of this rebuild. See you guys then. Peace out.